ever felt like you just explain yourself until you're black and blue in the face? That you're with someone and you go over and over a point again and again, or some sort of explanation, and yet it never seems to be really understood. Hi, I'm Sophie from Try to Wellbeing, and I help people with their emotions and behaviours to deal with toxic people in their lives. Quite often we're in a relationship and communication goes pear-shaped. We mean to explain something and the other person interprets it in a way that we definitely never intended. Maybe we end up hurting their feelings. Most of us would then feel awful, experience remorse, and then take accountability of our part in how things suddenly spiraled out of control. Or maybe you did something and it hurt the other person. Perhaps you were meant to attend something they wanted and you just forgot. Well, again, we would usually feel quite ordinary that we upset someone and we made such a mistake. So ideally we would admit it, that we messed up, we'd apologise and accept that this one's on us. How this differs with a narcissist is that they will rarely take accountability. If, you will seldom hear them say, hey, I really mucked up. It'll be more along the lines of, traffic was heavy, work was crazy busy, some sort of excuse. Now this can actually be the case, but when the same excuses surface time and time again, then that is just what they are, an excuse. Now imagine how this plays out in a more serious situation. I cheated on you. May even look something like, oh, we never really hooked up. What's all the fuss about? It was just a few phone calls. There's no accountability about how you feel. And notice how now it seems that you're the one being picky or oversensitive for bringing it up. Maybe they miss a major event that had been planned for weeks, and all that you get in response is, I have a lot on. Or maybe you've been hurt, blamed, gaslighted for years and have held hope that your partner just saw what he was doing, and then if they knew that, they would surely change their behaviour. The problem here is that they would need to actually take accountability for their part in how the two of you are communicating, how their actions led to where you are both now and how you both feel. Sadly, there is little chance of this happening. Just as in a previous vlog we discussed how it's unlikely that you'll ever have the narcissist show true remorse, then it's equally unlikely that you will ever see them display accountability for their part in how the relationship is. To experience such things, a narcissist needs to want to have introspection. They need to have to look inwards and see how they've contributed. They need to hear your feedback. What you will see instead is that victim or hero mentality. They were either saving the day somewhere else, so how can you be upset? I've literally heard how they were doing such amazing work that they needed to be there or things would fall apart, and then go on and then they miss their child's concert. When just the day before he had made such a fuss out that he wasn't invited and that there wasn't a ticket when there actually was, and there was no such emergency. The job didn't warrant it, and not then nor since has there been any show of remorse or accountability for how he made that little girl feel. There was a ticket and there was a seat and there was a child that spent the entire concert looking for her dad. But because he felt he was the victim, that his wife wasn't doing enough, he chose not to show up for that girl. Other people I've worked with have been told, you just don't understand, you're too sensitive, you're basically tormenting them, even when it's the reverse. Their uncanny nature to turn things around is truly amazing. From threats of suicide and expressions of neglect, the victim mentality is at play in a way that anyone with real empathy struggles not to hear, acknowledge, and then try to remedy. So if you're unsure you're with a narcissist or are dating someone new and are concerned that you'll fall for that same type of person again, listen to their language. Do they show remorse when they make a mistake? Do they repetitively make the same mistake? Do they show accountability? Look, let's face it, if we all make mistakes and we really try not to repeat them as it never feels good. But if you don't think you made a mistake, then clearly you have nothing that you want to fix, repair, or be contrite for. You might want to see another one of our vlogs, and we'll put the link below on how not to make the same mistakes, because that's something that quite frequently happens when you're in a narcissistic relationship. I hope this short vlog points out other red flags that you should look out for. And by knowing these things, you can prepare in advance for what's to come. The thing with a narcissist is that they are predictable. So you can feel pretty assured that the same behavior is going to continue. And by knowing this, you can check your emotions and expectations and hopes at the door. Prepare for advance to a certain degree, and it may mean more work, but it will still help avoid disappointment in other ways. Please like, subscribe, and share, as this community is aiming to help others that still have to understand how to cope with such abuse. Until next time, I'm sending you much love.